Hello, everyone.
How the heck you doing?
Good to see you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Randomcast. I'm your host, Matt Sam on the dark side, Rob. I don't know what that sound I just made was. Hi, everybody. Hello. How's it going? That is just coffee, by the way, because I am tired all the time now. I have reached the streamer age where exhaustion is fatigue is a constant power up. Would you like more caffeine? Yes, just inject it directly into my bloodstream, please. Help me, Caffeine One Kenobi. You are my only hope. And with that in mind, let's watch the Ghost of Yotei video. Because this shit is cool. Is it? Oh, that's loud. Hello, sir. I'm so excited for this.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Connell and Nate Fox from Sucker Punch Productions. Ghost of Tsushima was an honor to be a part of. And today, Nate and I get to share more about our next game, Ghost of Yotei.
I'm so excited.
How we've crafted the game around exploration while keeping Atsu's tale of vengeance front and center.
I will also say, I do want to go back and play Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on PC again, but I also would really like to play more of AC Shadows, because AC Shadows is way better than I expected it to be. Like, I'm really enjoying AC Shadows. So yeah, I do want to play more of that.
We'll also talk about combat and how it's evolved. And we'll introduce for the first time some new special modes of play. But let's start things off first by talking about a Japanese folk legend, the Onryo.
Why are you so Onryo? The production quality of this video is so good, man.
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is an Onryo, a wrathful...
This is another game that I will say I'm a little bit annoyed that it's only coming out on PS5 to start. Between this and Death Stranding 2, I'm like really considering getting a PS5 Pro. Like, really close. But goddamn, this game looks great. Like, apparently the footage for this video was captured on a base PS5. I think it said that on the thing here. Let me just double check. Captured on a PS5, mix of gameplay and in-game cinematics, some camera angles adjusted for trailers. But yeah, it actually doesn't say if it's captured on a PS5 or PS5 Pro, but I imagine if it were captured on a PS5 Pro, it would say Pro. But yeah, so like, because there are games that I really want to play that are only coming out on Sony's console, there is an argument to be made that, like, if I were going to buy any console other than a Steam Deck, it would be a PS5 Pro. And that's a tad insane, because I don't think there is any universe in which one person needs to own a PS5 standard and a PS5 Pro unless you are a fucking content creator. That is the only reason. Or you're putting one in one room and one in another room. Anyway, this game looks stunning so far.
Bent on revenge. And they're half right. Atsu doesn't care if she lives or dies, so long as she can punish the Yotei 6.
Well, she's got to live long enough to punish them.
Who slaughtered her family. After 16 years in the South, she's returned home to put their spirits to rest.
What's interesting about this is, and I heard this on a podcast the other day, is that this is eerily similar to Naoe's story in Shadows. And that is a little, I mean, you know, Tsushima was an interesting case because it was about the invasion of Tsushima Island by the Mongols. This feels like a more standard story, but that's not a bad thing. I just think it's a little interesting after AC Shadows that it's like, oh, it's a revenge tale. Never heard one of those before. Literally just played one of those.
It's warm memories of her family that propel her forward. When Atsu returns to her childhood home, with the push of a button, you can experience those cherished times.
This is cool, but I wonder how much it will be used in the game. And it's got to be situational, right? It's not going to be like countrywide. It's a cool idea, though.
By giving you the freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yotei 6 is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Nice.
Ghost of Yotei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that at its heart is inspired by so many of our favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking about
Man, that looks good.
the edge of Japan.
Damn.
We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own experiences.
So the other thing that, and I remember hearing this when AC Shadows came out. This game is so, the Sucker Punch has taken such a, it's everything about the design of both this game and Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima, is this sort of extremely hyper saturated but very particular color palette. Where it's like this sequence here is like everything is reduced down to its trees, the leaves on the trees and the leaves on the ground, and this very sort of extreme, dichotomy between, the highlights and the shadows and everything. And you'll really see that later when they show off the Kurosawa mode for this game. But the thing that's so interesting about their approach to representing Japan in both this game and Tsushima is that it's hyper stylized. That's the word I was looking for. It's incredibly stylized, and the stylization is gorgeous, but it also feels more like a painting than like a true representation of Japan. And what's interesting is that AC Shadows goes for a much more realistic look, but what I found so surprising is that I thought the realistic look of Shadows would feel less stylized or artistic or stunning in a way than Tsushima because of the fact that it was going for realism. But I think both approaches are actually pretty stunning, and the fact that it like AC Shadows is also doing seasons in its own way, and each season has a very unique color palette to it and is also very striking and saturated in its own way, but leaning more towards what Japan would have looked like per se than this game. I don't think either one is better than the other. They're both really good. Both games did a surprisingly good job at representing their version of Japan, and I think that's pretty awesome. I just wonder what it will be like to go to this game after having played Shadows, because unfortunately the thing that was a problem with going from Tsushima to Shadows is that it had been a while since I played Ghost of Tsushima, and I actually feel like at times I'm remembering it wrong, including like the combat and the gameplay loop and things about it that were unique to it. Which is again a reason why I want to play Tsushima again. But I think ultimately it's great that both games have stuck to their styles and pulled them off. And I am excited to go back to this, unique look of like Sucker Punch's interpretation of Japan, because it is much more from the perspective of like them making a Japanese art cinema samurai ninja film. And much more inspired by the filmic interpretation of Japan rather than the historical video game interpretation of Japan. It's just very cool. It's just very cool. I like that they're taking such unique approaches,
Your thirst for combat or a deep desire to stay focused.
They're both good approaches is what I'm trying to say.
As you explore, there's an underlying clue system that invites you to new adventures in new areas of the game that could be appealing to you. If you interrogate an enemy, choosing to ask about the Oni, you could uncover a landscape scarred by fire with more bold, samurai-like enemies to fight and abilities for Atsu to learn. Or if you ask about the Kitsune, might lead you to an area filled with snow and deception, enemies that ambush you, and new ninja-like tactics to study. Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you.
And I think this is another thing that's interesting about it is that like, because this game doesn't rely so much on climbing and the whole assassin, like the Assassin's Creed part of the Assassin's game buildup, like it can make locations that aren't designed around what Ubisoft thinks an Assassin's game should be because of their sort of design philosophy. So, the playgrounds and the world are going to be serving different ends. But this whole like sort of card investigation thing, like, obviously this investigation and like environment traversal and uncovering the map will probably almost certainly feel completely different from AC Shadows, but also each location isn't designed around you. It feels like they're designing it around, telling the story rather than it being an Assassin's game, which has been a major criticism of Assassin's Creed for a while now, of like the sandbox has to be built in a way that makes it feel like an AC game, which is true, but also it sort of makes it hard to believe like, oh yeah, and this whole place is built so that you can climb it and go stand at the top and, jump off into a hay bale at the bottom of it. It's like, oh, yeah, right, still a video game. And I kind of hope that this game will, lean into the dynamic of it, everything in it existing because it exists, not because it's serving this, it's not serving that AC thing. Like we have the Japan AC game now, and this is clearly serving a different, perspective.
Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds.
I love the design of these cards too, man.
Progress against the Yotei 6, her legend as the on-rail grows. It's her. The bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yotei 6.
Show her the door.
There is a hefty price on Atsu's head. Now, Atsu can also hunt down her own bounties that bring her all around the land. This is a lucrative way to make some money to fuel her vengeance quest.
Man, that looks really cool.
You're here for my bounty.
And in fact, like, I think the other thing I would mention is that this game, for me, I'm not sure that other people feel this way. This game shares a lot in common for me, gameplay wise, with something like Horizon, Zero Dawn and Forbidden West in the same respect, in that it's like it shares some traversal and exploration and combat DNA. Although, honestly, I feel like maybe Tsushima and Horizon will feel more alike than this and Horizon will, because I think this is going to go in a direction that's even further away from Assassin's Creed than Tsushima was. Because again, I think Horizon suffers from the same kind of stuff that an Assassin's Creed game does, where it's the areas in the map are definitely split up by story progression and character level, and the idea of like, you don't belong here until you've done this, that, or the other. Did I play the first game, Ghost of Tsushima? I did. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's a great game. And I had watched this earlier. I think they are making some pretty significant changes. It seems like they're pushing it further away from other open world games in terms of, what the point of the open world is, so that it feels worthy of exploration, but doesn't become, the cliched, repetitious loop that most open world games fall into, that even the Horizon games have fallen into. At least that's my hope. At least that's what it sounds like they're doing. Because even the thing with the cards is interesting, because the Assassin's Creed games for a while have really tried to do what this game is. I'm stuck on a black screen here. Let me put this up. It's like, it's the exact same, it's similar concept to what they are doing in Shadows and what they did in Odyssey, where it's like, you can turn off all of the aids for the game and just sort of go around and find clues to the stuff that you want to do. But like, and this is not maybe my complaint, but I've heard others complain that like the big problem with AC Shadow's way of doing it is that it feels disjointed, because you're exploring stuff out of order, because it's a very linear story in an otherwise open world game that then has a lot of that other padding in between here and there to like, make it feel game-like. And I think the hope that Sucker Punch is trying to do here is that like, this will feel cool if they can make it organic, if they can make the traversal feel like you're actually doing, a Kurosawa, style film journey, or even, like the Japanese version of a spaghetti Western, which all of that stuff is, heavily inspired by. But again, this is, and the cool thing is that like, this is not the only game that's trying to do like organic world traversal and exploration this year. There's another game that I talked about in my last YouTube video, Hell Is Us, which is also trying to solve that, what seems to continue to be an unsolvable problem of how do you make the game world both, open, entertaining, explorable, and like, something that you can move through at your own pace and at your own speed, while absorbing the things you need to move, to absorbing the information you need to move the game forward, so that it's not just, yellow exclamation marks above people's heads. It's a really tough thing for devs to get right. And I'd love to see a game pull it off, because I feel like a lot of people don't feel like the Assassin's Creed games have pulled it off recently. I love that there's a slide in this game. Man, that music's good.
Hidden in the world are altars of reflection. Finding one inspires Atsu and unlocks a new ability to help her on the journey ahead.
Nice.
On their own, but for a quicker route, you can always buy a traveler's map from the cartographer. Ghost of Yotei.
Damn.
Going to rush you through anything. You can choose what motivates you most. But we think the best way to play is to simply pull out your spyglass, find something interesting on the horizon, and enjoy the ride.
Let's ride.
Fucking chills. Holy shit. Oh, man. That is... I gotta say, the Sucker Punch, like I think AC Shadows is great, but it just doesn't do moments like that better than Sucker Punch does moments like that. That's just, God, I'm gonna love it.
The lands around Yotei are fast. It's not about checking it all off, it's about engaging in the content that gets you excited. Embrace that curiosity and let the wind.
Ah, hot springs. Those always get me excited. Wait, what? Mastering the blade.
Ezo is a dangerous place. Atsu always wields a weapon. As for which, that's up to you. Will you choose a katana, spear, a surigama, odachi, or dual swords?
This is very cool that they have all these weapons.
Effective against a particular enemy and has their own set of upgrades to discover and match.
Oh, he might have needed that.
Let's see how she uses these weapons in the field.
So it's funny.
Her leads on Lord Saito.
It's funny. I watched this earlier today, and I was watching some other people. I was specifically watching Maximilian Dude watch this video, and he made an interesting point that I don't know that I would have caught having not watched his video because I haven't played the original game in a while. But it seems like because they added all these weapons, since weapon variety was not a thing in the last game, it looks like they've taken out stances from the first game, which some people will probably like, and some people might be annoyed by. Something to keep in mind. I thought it was an interesting observation because I hadn't remembered that, but also all you have in Ghost of Tsushima is a katana. So is it an upgrade? Is it a side grade? Is it a step backward? Who knows? We'll find out when the game comes out, I guess.
Needed more to free you.
Getting a Kasuragama, though, in my opinion, is a win.
Steals our crops while our families starve.
Because you get to do shit like this.
Atsu's a ninja. No, she's a lone wolf mercenary who'll use every advantage, every dirty trick to win a fight.
I also find it hilarious she's Ninja Rambo. She's carrying every weapon on her. Like, how are you moving? That's a lot of hardware.
The feel of a classic samurai movie. Every motion counts. It's about lethal precision. If an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, she can disarm them.
Ooh.
You're dead.
Oh, dang.
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight, we feast.
We dine in hell.
blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got an arsenal.
Ooh, ow, shit.
Bounty hunter. A ghost.
Thrown weapons like kunai, bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge. When enemies switch weapons, you'll have to adapt. Dual swords are best against spears.
Yeah, so I guess on some level they combined stances with weapons, which is fine. It will be interesting to see though how the weapons interact in terms of like, do they give you stat boosts? What will they unlock? Like, will certain weapons give certain extra powers? Because I know there was like a basic version of that in the first game. Like you would use different armor sets or different weapons to get certain like minor, major boosts or whatever. But I don't assume that it's going to be like AC Shadows where it's just like they're dropping loot every 20 every 2 or 3 fights.
No more.
Spill it, pig man.
Atsu doesn't always fight alone. She'll meet several allies on her hunt, including a mysterious wolf.
I love this. This is the best. Yes, wolf fight. Let's go. So sick. So sick.
Atsu can set up camp under the star. But she's not always alone.
Hey, friend. Share your fire with the traveling peddler?
What are you selling?
A mask said to be cursed with the unpredictable nature of its previous owner.
Camping under the stars is a great way to rest up, play your shamisen, or cook to ready for a fight ahead. It's also designed to help bring important characters and upgrades straight to you. In fact, in place of the journal menu from Ghost of Tsushima, we've opted for a more character-driven way of managing allies and vendors you meet in Ezo.
This art's awesome.
Atsu grows to have her own wolf pack. And here, you can keep track of when a sensei might have a weapon skill for you, or when a vendor has something unique to sell.
This looks great. This all looks great.
Upgrades, resources, when to buy what can be a burden in a big open world game. At campsites, members of your wolf pack can catch up with you, offering upgrades and unique items. This helps ensure you have every opportunity to upgrade and prepare for Atsu's vengeance quest ahead. You don't have to leave where you're exploring. The game comes to you.
While exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new armor, charms, and gear. Perfect for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle.
I can't wait to see how many people mix up the name. So the game is called Ghost of Yotei because that's the volcano that's present in the game. She's called Atsu. What's her name? Oh, fuck. Jesus. Osu?
The people of Ezo believe Atsu is...
Atsu. Okay, Jesus. Asshole. Good job. Fucking Christ. And then the name of the place she's in. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. And so what's the name of the actual...
While exploring Ezo, you'll discover all sorts of new...
And it's Ezu. So it's Atsu, Ezo, Yotei, Oive. It's gonna be
armor, charms, and gear.
Oh, God.
Perfect for building up Atsu around your chosen playstyle. Are you stealth, ranged, or melee focused?
God, those sets look good.
And combine the pieces that are just right for you. And of course, customize the look of your armor and weapons to make sure that your version of Atsu looks and fights just the way you want.
Sick. Those look fantastic. I love that they put not actual gameplay at the bottom of this. Like, what part of Yotei is this? Where did it find this? Just a pile of like cosplay outfits. It's not in the game. Don't ask us. This is not gameplay. That's really silly.
The score of Ghost of Yotei is incredibly special to us.
Hell yes.
Our amazing composer, Toma Otoa, has created a mashup of Eastern instrumentation with Western flavors, brought to life through an exciting collaboration of many talented artists.
でこうダウンビートまで
If you like what you heard, we're releasing 2 tracks featured in today's State of Play on your favorite streaming service immediately after the show.
God, that's sick. That's sick. I love it. Oh, the music sounds so good, man.
The digital.
All right, we're back. Thank you for being patient through the break, everybody. See, I told you it wouldn't be so bad.
The photography community for Ghost of Tsushima is incredible. We're happy to have photo mode back in Ghost of Yotei and look forward to seeing photos from your journey across Ezo. We want playing through Ghost of Yotei to feel like stepping inside of your favorite classic samurai films. So, from the beginning of the game, we're happy to offer a full Japanese voice track with full lip sync that you can play with.
This is so sick. This is so sick. I love that they're doing this again. Because they didn't do this at launch on the original. They patched it in later, but it made such a difference. So good.
一人残らず息の根止めたと思った。また会えたな。刀鍛冶の娘。
覚えておけ。Atsuだ。
To take the feeling of stepping into a classic samurai cinema experience one step further, we are honored to once again partner with acclaimed director Akira Kurosawa's estate for Kurosawa Mode, which emulates his classic black and white films.
God, that is so beautiful, man. I just want everybody to look at this for just a second, because like there is something about the way that they're approaching this with the Kurosawa estate. Like if you've ever watched a Kurosawa film, then you know that like cinematography always relies on, you know, both the film stock that you're using as well as the camera, but almost always the film stock and the lighting that you're using in the scene. I'm not a professional cinematographer, but I am a longtime photographer, and I've shot on both film and digital. And I will tell you right now, as somebody who learned how to do photography by doing black and white photography, the vibe and the feel of black and white can be at times done correctly even more powerful than color, because even though you're desaturating the image by focusing on the grayscale values and really pushing those, you know, those highlights and those really deep, dark, you know, black values, and finding those elements, like where the shadows are and where, you know, where the brightest highlights should be and where those gray tones come in between. I mean, like just the clouds in this scene alone, and those dark areas underneath each rooftop, and then the boards of the wood pushing those highlights out, and the top of the mountain, the volcano behind it. Just, I don't know. It's such a powerful statement that the developers of this game are so focused on doing this right because of how powerful it is to use this reduced color palette or completely desaturated look to its fullest effect, because it's really powerful. You know, the game looks great in color with this hyper saturated look that it, you know, and it's the look that the developers have gone for with it in color. But man, it gave, the first time I saw them do this, where they sucked all the color out and showed you the black and white, it took my fucking breath away, man.
His classic black and white films.
Like, that's stunning. That is just stunning, man. And that is not easy to do digitally. It is not easy to do. Because again, the thing that I give them so much credit for doing this is that film, for the longest time, I mean, granted, we've come a long way with digital technology in terms of film recreation and recreating film stocks and looks and grains and all of that shit. But so much of what made film cinematography and classic black and white films, Kurosawa films, or any black and white films for that matter, so stunning and so poignant is the fact that cinema for the longest time was a chemical process, of light on a chemical reaction on film, and then development with chemicals to give this, it's totally organic, analog chemical reactive process. And the fact that they can make something, that is fundamentally digital look this good, to be an homage to, Kurosawa's, just incredible legacy. And, also to honor the work of his, award-winning cinematographer, who I used to know his name, but yeah, his cinematographer was also incredible. Anyway. This is just fucking gorgeous.
For Ghost of Yotei, we wanted to celebrate two other influential directors who have had an impact on the genre.
This is cool too.
First, we've partnered with Takeshi Miike, director of 13 Assassins, for a mode that puts the camera closer during combat and more intense.
And gives you more blood.
And blood splatter.
How many blood bags do you want per kill?
We've partnered with the director of Samurai Champloo, Shinichiro Watanabe.
This is so sick.
On to listen to some original lo-fi tracks directed by Watanabe himself.
I love this. I love this so much. Dude, that's fucking sick.
There's so many ways to make Ghost of Yotei playthrough your own. But no matter how you play, here's one way to experience Ghost of Yotei that is sure to be special.
We're gonna coat you in gold. I find it interesting that they're not doing a... I mean, I kind of want those, but I'm also kind of surprised they're not doing a PS5 Pro version of that.
Today, you've got a glimpse into Atsu's hunt for the Yotei 6. Forge your own...
Because, the funny thing is, I actually, I have a PS4 Pro that I bought as a bundle. It was a Star Wars Battlefront bundle. I actually never played the Battlefront game that came with it. But it is interesting to me that I have not seen a single PS5 Pro tie-in bundled console yet at all. Like, this would be a good one to do. Again, I was it would have been interesting to do a Death Stranding 2 one also, considering that game runs better on the Pro. I wonder if they will do any PS5 Pro bundle. Like, this feels like one they could have made a PS5 Pro Yotei console. I'm surprised that they didn't do that, but
path while discovering the secrets of Ezo.
Well, actually, I kind of understand why they haven't done it. And the reason being is because there is no PS5 Pro that has a disc drive. So that kind of fucks that. But again, there's no reason you can't make a PS5 Pro bundle and like give people a redeemable code, because that's the world we live in now. So
to survive, you'll need to master a variety of weapons, using lethal precision to overcome the odds and take revenge as the Onryo.
This looks great. This looks great.
It comes out on October 2nd. Thank you so much.
October 2nd. My goodness, I am so fucked this year. I have so many games that I am in the middle of. How am I going to do this? This is so cool. Amazing. It's amazing. I really appreciate that they made this its own thing and didn't try to jam this in. I feel like if they had put this in, it probably would have competed heavily with Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls as sort of like which was the bigger thing at the end of that showcase. This looks super cool. This fucking looks great. And already there apparently are videos of people complaining about this game before it's even out. What is wrong with people? They actually removed the best part. Could people fucking stop it? Like, the game is not out yet. You have not played it. Shut the fuck up. Like, everybody needs to calm the fuck down, man. Seriously. I don't know what people are just looking to be mad at things for no reason.